I think we have reached a temporary bottom on the market as we hit some key levels on the indices SPY, QQQ, and IWM, where we said that the market would probably head towards. And we did get some reaction and some buyers off of that. We do have some support sitting at memory stocks as well. And then we have NVDA that popped and broke a little bit of trend today. And can it finally sustain above $200? We have a lot to chat about today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you have not been here before, my name is Dr. B. You're more than welcome to click the links down below to support the channel or check out how you can join Leverage University. That is where we live trade. We have all of our trade ideas. I am also coaching and teaching inside of the community there while we're live trading. You can ask questions, all those good things. And then we have a Thursday Q&A welcome masterclass at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, that means if you join right now, okay, and I think that discount code is still available, so try it out. Use July 4 right now before it is expired. I did want to give a little bit of time because people are coming off the holiday weekend, but if you still are contemplating, we had a bunch of people join over the weekend, so welcome to everybody. We're gonna be welcoming them tomorrow evening. All right, there's the 2 cents. Let's jump right into the updates for today. All right. So let's look at straight into the charts. I'm not going to go in too much into the fundamentals. We did have the FOMC meeting minutes today, and it showcased that there were going to be necessarily no rate cuts, but that the rate hikes might be pushed back just a little bit. We're suspected to have right around 2 rate hikes or so, and we have the FOMC meeting at the end of this month, which I would suggest that they'll probably just pause again, and then we will roll into the midterms, and maybe we'll have some hikes there. Who knows? But the market did not react accordingly to the downside, right? We had a lot of downward pressure in the overnight session into this morning. But what you can see here is that we recovered again. We've been talking about this lower high situation here, and my bias is still short biased. Okay, that means I still think there's more downside to come, but you have to be aware of the volatility which July brings sometimes. All right, and a midterm year. So here's some levels. Let's jump into SPY and look right here. We've got 747 and ultimately that 750 level. And you've heard me say this before. If you have not, as long as we're below that 750, I'm still more neutral to bearish on the market. Okay, as long as we're below this lower high right here, there, 747, up here, 749 to 750, anywhere below this zone, okay, still neutral to bearish. Okay, that means that if we even pop up into that area, Brian, are you still not bullish yet? Not necessarily until we clear solidly above that 750 and go. Now, earnings can take us there, right? A positive Fed response by the end of the month can take us there. We could have the semis and memory stocks start recovering extremely, and we could start going there. But you can see that we are holding up some pretty key moving averages here on the daily chart. Okay, if I turn on those moving averages, look at right where they're stacked up, where we stopped today. Okay, so my projection as far as technicals go is that we'll probably remain neutral and choppy in here until it decides a direction. But ultimately, if I were to pick a side right now, I still think this and that is possible. Okay, and that would send us into the lower band or the lower end of that channel to create a new lower low. All right. Another thesis that I have here is looking at the VIX, and then we'll jump into QQQ and some individual stocks, and also talk about some bullish stocks as well that maybe you should consider buying or that can recover throughout the month of July. All right. We saw that the VIX popped today with some fear. Okay. The VIX gives us a volatility index or the fear and greed index. When the VIX is popping higher, okay, that initiates fear in the market. So it goes opposite of the market. So if VIX is popping, that means that SPY and QQQ in the market is dropping. All right. So we can see there's a long top wick there. So it popped and then it came back down, but we are holding that level. So if VIX starts building here and building here and building here, and we get more fear in the market, then that's where the market starts falling. Okay. So anywhere close to about 14 to 15 on the VIX, I a little bit concerned there as far as potentially the market getting a little bit overextended. But just wanted to share that as well. Let's jump into Qs. Okay. Qs are encompassed of memory and semiconductors as of late. Okay. We got Micron, SNDK, WDC. okay, as well as our semiconductor stocks, NVIDIA, AMD, AVGO, so on and so forth. So QQQ is pretty much being run by those stocks. So if that's the case, then I do suspect that if we do get a recovery this month, that QQQ could come all the way back into the top end of the channel, right? And if we still stay underneath that 725, okay, ultimately 730, I'm still looking at this as a lower high. So we could get a big recovery on Qs potentially up into these highs and still have a lower high. Okay. So do not be surprised if we are holding this support level of 700 and we are starting to work our way back to the upside, potentially back towards that 720. As you can see, it is below the daily 20 moving average, which suggests a little bit more neutral to bearish. It is still below the daily 50 moving average, which is neutral to bearish. Okay. So you can see how far away that has the possibility of going. If we come here, we come there, we come there. That is the pullback or the correctional period that I want to see. Okay. That is where I'll get highly interested in deploying a lot more cash or looking at leaps or bigger swing calls. And that could be right before the midterms. Who knows? It could be we pump in July and then we sell off after July. Who knows? But right now we're just chopping. IWM, for anyone who took IWM and stayed the course with this, look exactly where it hit 290. All right. Right where it hit 290. Do I believe IWM can come lower? Yes, I do. But we need to find a proper entry, either a break below 290 and you have nothing but room probably until 280. Okay. If we break that low, nothing but room probably until 280. Okay. But what I would like to see if we grind higher here back into 295 and I can get a little bit better risk to reward up against those moving averages, lower high there, and then see a rejection, something like that. All right. That would kind of form for my structure people a little bit of maybe a head and shoulders here, something like that there. Okay. It starts rolling down, kind of like what this did. Okay. Rolling down, and then we get that drop. All right. So I think IWM still, in my opinion, really, really good as far as small accounts, larger accounts, any account size. You can put some time on the contracts as long as your entry is proper. It is really, really smooth and very inexpensive. Okay. Semiconductors here. Here's where we get interested is what's going on with the semis. Okay. Semis have been beaten down a little bit. We know NVIDIA has been lagging. It's been coming down into this area, and we stopped at that 580. And we could see some recoveries from semis, which we'll go into in a second, from NVIDIA and so on and so forth, and then memory. Okay. DRAM. This is the memory ETF, and it is sitting on a really, really nice level here for a retest. As you can see there, it broke above, and then this area right here, anywhere around 57 to 60 is a support. Look right here. There, it dipped below, reclaimed, and look right where it stopped today, right at 58, and then reclaimed 60. So if we go into our daily chart here, you can see some gaps above, okay? And it could get some momentum and some momentum and some momentum, and memory could get that, really nice recovery if possible there. Now, do I think it potentially needs lower than this? Yes. But in general, could memory get a big recovery back up? Yeah, it could. But again, if I look at the structure in the longer sense, okay, memory we know we need for AI centers, we know we need memory, so on and so forth. But in the longer sense, do I think it still needs potentially lower and this becomes a head and shoulders, something like that? Yeah, I do, personally. Okay. But for right now, it is in support. Okay. So I would look at call options or buys right here, nibbling a little bit, and then getting a nice return back up into the 70s on DRAM. All right. Let's go into NVIDIA. Okay. NVIDIA, we can see here it did break structure, held that daily 200 level right there pretty nicely, started forming a little bit of a higher low, and then it got that break of structure here above that 197, reclaimed it. Look what the possibilities above 197, 197, all the way back up into 210, 212, then potentially trying to target that 220. All right. So I think this is a great, great setup for more upside because it associates with QQQ recovering. It associates with SMH recovering, and then also the DRAM recovering. And NVIDIA being the top company in the world and also being a semiconductor, I think this is just a little pullback. So what I would look for, as long as NVIDIA is above this 200 to 201, we can look for pullback calls. Okay. One of the top setups I'll be looking for. All right. Apple consolidating up here, looking for a breakout. I think Apple personally just is going to try to sit here. It's going to try to get a new all-time high breakout. If the market starts rolling, Apple was extremely strong today when the market was selling. It was holding up very, very well. I was thinking it was going to get a bigger pullback than this, right? Maybe down to 305 and then 302 pullback, but it just held that like a glove. All right. Right there at that 308. If we go left, that 308 is somewhat of a support. You can see right here, right there, right there. Okay. So it held that pretty strong. If we break underneath that 308, that's where you can get some downside momentum. Otherwise, Apple, I would say more bullish consolidation for higher right now. All right. Google getting some interesting action here off this moving average, 373. I would say that's more neutral to bearish because it is underneath that moving average. Okay. So as long as it's underneath that 370, I'd be a little bit more neutral to bearish. We've seen Google do it before. It can do this and it breaks below a new low for whatever reason and it comes down there. I would just be a little bit more neutral. Okay. In the broader sense, as you get that deeper pullback, maybe back into a retest of 346 to 350, I'd look at Google, doing this and then recovering. If Google breaks above, and some of you may see this, I see this inverse head and shoulders, something like that, right? And then higher, I definitely could see that. Look at the neckline above 376. Take Google higher into that 380 plus. All right. We got to respect that daily 50 in that 370 area right there. Okay. Microsoft, line in the sand, 380. Okay. As long as it holds up 380. Okay, you can look for Microsoft higher, maybe a gap fill back into 390. Microsoft still struggling though. I mean, look at the weekly candle. That is not a strong weekly candle. Okay, so you got to put it in perspective on a higher time frame that people think that Microsoft is in support. Yes, it is, but that is not a strong area right there. We need is to start building off of this. Now, can you pick up long-term shares? Not financial advice? Yes, of course. But if you're looking for a big swing on Microsoft, right, it's just not getting the bid. It's not getting, the interest here, but it's building. We've seen Microsoft do it before. It sits here, it frustrates people, sits here. The next thing you know, good news, bam, right? So just watch that 400 level. If it breaks, then we can get some momentum. We can get going. Amazon I was interested in Amazon for a while until it started doing this mess right here. Okay. So it's got to get out of whatever that is. Okay. I was looking for it to turn into a bear flag, then come lower, but the market's strong. Okay, cool. It still can't get above 250. All right. We'll just watch it. It's just not the prettiest action right now on Amazon. I would just trade it in this box or leave it alone for right now. Okay. Out of the box, you can take it higher. In the box, trade the range. Meta, same thing as Microsoft. I'm not really interested in whatever this is doing. Okay. It's just kind of sitting in support. Is it maybe higher lows? Yes. Is it below all the moving average stacks? Yes. So I would just say Meta, watch 600, watch 580. Okay. Tesla, trade the range. We got roughly 420 right now. I would say that's a pretty big level. And then 380. Okay. 420, 380. There's some intermediate markers in between. We've got 410, 412. Then we got 400 right here. Obviously a big psych level. So Tesla, again, just in a big range. You're just not going to get any range expansion until it breaks out of which way it wants to go. Okay. Intel, very interesting here on this as well. Nice hold. I think Intel needs to pull back even further, but it is in support right now and it could get a little bit of recovery. Look at that weekly chart on Intel. This could be bullish consolidation here, a nice little channel, right? But it is starting to set and starting to get some lower highs coming in. Okay. So right now that's a hammer candle right there. Maybe you can get a nice little push with a stop loss below that low. Okay. So if you want to look for Intel above, it did reclaim that 108 previous day low and closed decently strong. So as long as it holds above that 108 and that 104 area, you can look for Intel higher for calls, trying to get that. But once it gets up into this 120, 125, I'd be a little bit mindful of this area. As you can see there, look at that pop there. Okay, roll back down lower. All right. So I like the range and the expansion that Intel's been doing as it's gotten, into the core list of companies, in my opinion. Okay. All right, let's look at some bullish stocks really quick, and I'm gonna get you all out of here. I'm trying to be quicker with these videos. Thank y'all so much for hanging in with me. So a couple more stocks. I want to look at Palantir, Oracle. Palantir, 127 holds that up, but it's pinned in between these areas. Okay, so you have to be nimble, flexible, and Palantir is rejecting that big moving average there. It's pinned between them. Okay, nice hammer candle off there. So I would say bullish to neutral here, neutral to bullish, meaning it can flip and we take out that 127 and then we're coming down here. Okay, so it's got to hold up this 126, 127 level, which it's doing right now. Okay, but also understand underneath 140 is some serious resistance too. Okay, so just be nimble, flexible, draw this box, understand that that is a range right now. It's either got to get above 140, go, or trade the range and then wait for underneath 127, go down. All right, Oracle, this is one that I'm interested in for obviously shares. I think shares are amazing here. Personally, starting the dollar cost average into these. So if you can buy $5, if you buy $10, whatever you can afford, and you want to do your own due diligence on, I think this is a great area, right, to buy and to look at Oracle here. Now, as far as swing calls, I think you could start looking at these. We're starting to look at them in our community entry potentially this week. But what I would like to see is a little bit of a break of structure. Okay, this is an early entry, meaning we're still in a downtrend, but we got a green candle here off the lows. So I would like to see Oracle break above or out of this 147 area. Okay, something more like that. Okay, that would be kind of my signal candle to say, okay, cool, that's a confirmed low. We can just keep our stop loss underneath, put some time on the contracts, looking for something like that. So Oracle, long dated call options, I like. Look out for them. Okay. All right, Hood, always mention that. It's been one of the strongest stocks in the in the markets. So Hood got to get above that 120 level. It's trying to retest it. It's kind of pinned in between here. It's holding up structure, higher lows. What I would like to see is maybe, Hood, it did fill that little gap there. Come back to that moving average, maybe 100 one more time. That would be great. But other than that, if it just keeps building and building, you're looking for maybe a breakout on Hood, but you got to respect this area here. But it looks like it's forming a little bit of a bull flag there. So if Hood breaks out above that 115, right? 115, you could start seeing this there. Okay. Turn that into some supports. Okay. So Hood break above previous day high, 115, start looking at 118, then 120, and then a breakout. All right. Otherwise, be careful up here, could rotate right back down, and then that's our area. So keep your stop losses tight underneath that that low right there, which would be 108.92. All right, cool. Well, there's the brief update, everybody. I gave you my synopsis for what I think. I think this is a temporary bottom that we could see a bounce for July. I know it's a little bit rough for the first, week or so of July as we're warming it up, but we came down into some deep supports. I think we can get some recovery with semis and memory, and then we kind of chop around in there for July, and then we see what August brings. But a lot of stuff going on in the Middle East. We still have Trump talking out the side of his mouth. And then also we got our FOMC and earnings coming up. So I would say a little bit more neutral to bullish right now, but in the broader sense, I would say we're still in a lower high downtrend. All right. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank y'all so much. I'll talk to y'all soon, and I will see y'all first thing in the morning for live trading. Make sure to use code July4 if you have not done so. It will end this week, and you can come in tomorrow for our Thursday Q&A welcome session if you are a complete beginner or you just need to, be a part of the community. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.